viewers, in this video I will talk about metaphor. So if you are an English literature student or if you are reading English literature or English subject, then metaphor, this thing you have to know, it is a literary device or a figure of speech. If you do not know it in detail, then it will be problematic for you in your upcoming studies. So let's try to know about it. So, a metaphor, it is a figure of speech that for rhetorical effect directly refers to one thing by mentioning another. So, in a simple word, metaphor is one of the literary device used in English literature, and it means uh, when you say a one thing and the meaning comes out through another thing. Okay, so you directly refers to one thing by mentioning another thing. That's it. Okay, very simple. And it may provide clarity or identify hidden similarities between two different ideas. Okay, and metaphors are often compared with other types of figurative language such as antithesis, hyperbole, metonymy, and simile. One of the famous example of metaphor in English literature can be found in the works of William Shakespeare. As you all know, William Shakespeare was a great dramatist and he still is. And he had written a drama, and that drama name was As You Like It. So that was a romantic comedy play. So in that play, if you have read, so if you have not read, that's okay. If you will read, then you will get some lines in that drama, and that line is like this: all the world's as stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being seven ages, at first the infant. So this is an excerpt from that play. So this is a magnificent example of metaphor. So here the writer or the person, he is referring to one thing by mentioning another thing. So here you can see he is saying that all the world is a stage. Okay, and all the men and women, they are just the players. Means this whole art, this whole planet, this is a stage of a drama, and all the men and women of this stage, they are just players. Means they are just actors, they are nothing else. And therefore they have their exits and they have their entrances. Means they come and they go, and one man in his time plays many parts, and each man, one who comes here, or each woman, one who comes here, they just play their parts and they exist. So this whole life, this whole art, this is just like a stage. His acts being seven ages, at first the infant. So through these lines we have got to know how a metaphor is splendidly used by the dramatist, right? So if I talk about it in a broad way, then this quotation, it expresses a metaphor because the world is not literally a stage, and most humans are not literally actors and actresses playing roles. By asserting that the world is a stage, Shakespeare has used points of comparison between the world and a stage to convey an understanding about the mechanics of the world and the behavior of the people within it. Okay, so you must have understood what is metaphor. Now let's try to know about other kinds of metaphor examples in literature. So you can find great examples of metaphors in literature and poetry. There are many poetry, many novel, many literary works where you will get numerous, countless metaphors. Written down metaphors make you identify with certain emotions or experiences carrying weight that simple description rarely do. So now let's see one example here. My thoughts are stars I cannot fathom into constellations. So this is a line taken from the film The Fault in Our Stars, or novel. So here you can see the writer is saying, or the person who spoke these lines, he is saying that his thoughts are stars. Okay, but he cannot fathom into constellations. So here he is referring his thoughts uh, in a different way by saying stars, that his thoughts are stars. Okay, so this is metaphor. Got it? The next, memories are bullets, some whiz by and only spook you, others tear you open and leave you in pieces. Just like that, you will get many. Now let's go on to other things. Okay, You must have heard people say that life is a highway, her eyes were diamonds. So these kinds of expression, these kinds of phrases and sentences, these kind of sentences and phrases, these kinds of words, these all are a part of metaphor. Now you must have uh, vividly comprehend what I had tried to say. And let's try to know about other things like he is a shining star, the snow is a white blanket, she is an early bird. So these all things are a part of metaphor. I hope you haven't understood what I tried to say. And apart from that, we all use metaphor in our daily life in different ways. So, by knowingly or unknowingly, actively or passively, directly or indirectly, we always use metaphor. Very simple. Thank you so much.